Much for being here. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulty, so give me a second while I get this all set up. All right, I am here. So, thank you for tuning in. My name is Ryan Kearns. If you're healing from Lyme disease naturally, then this video is for you. You're in the right place. And I'm going to be doing a live Q&A at the end of this, so if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, but I will be doing it at the end. So drop your questions in the chat. I'll get to them at the end if you post them. If not, just wait till the very end, because that way then I'll get them in real time. I'm going to go through all your questions and I promise to answer every single one of them. As long as I can figure out how to do it, of course. On this, I'm using my mobile phone setup this time, which is a little bit new. But let's move on. Look, these 3 mistakes slowed me down. They made it way harder for me. They kept me stuck. If I didn't do these 3 things, I would have gotten better much faster. But that, you're gonna have to wait and see what it is. I also have a surprise that I'm gonna share with you at the end of this live stream. So thank you so much for being here. You're gonna love this. So look, one of things that I did wrong, the mistakes that I made, involves juice cleanses. And I'm gonna get to that later. So just keep that in mind. Juice cleanses. Are they good? Are they bad? Do they help with Lyme disease? Let's talk about it. But just real quick, I'm gonna go over this. The 20-second version. I had Lyme disease back in 2016. It was really bad. I actually had co-infections as well. I had EBV. It was scary. I actually had heart symptoms from it. I started fainting. My heart rate dropped to 30 beats per minute. I got the Lyme diagnosis because I had the EM rash on my belly in multiple places on my body. I was prescribed antibiotics, but I started researching and I learned so much, and I decided to actually take the natural route instead of using antibiotics. And I built my recovery using herbs, nutrition, and lifestyle, and I made a bunch of mistakes along the way. And that's why I'm here today, to share those mistakes with you so that maybe I can help you avoid some of the mistakes that I made in the process of getting better. Because if I can save someone a year of time, a month of time, even a day of time, it can be extremely beneficial long term. I mean, these days add up, right? We don't get to have as many as we want. Time is a finite resource. So it's really important that we have energy and life force and the ability to do the things we love with the time that we have. And that's why our health is so important. But let me get into these 3 big mistakes so that I can get to the fun stuff, the surprise and the Q&A at the end. So first of all, the first mistake that I made was I did a juice cleanse in the very beginning of healing from Lyme disease. And at the time, it just seemed like the thing to do. I actually worked at a juice bar. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do this juice cleanse and hopefully this is gonna make me feel better. This is supposed to be packed with vitamins and nutrients, right? But the thing is, juices don't have any fiber in them. So they're just juice, right? They're a lot of sugar, honestly. And they are high in vitamins and minerals, but if you have to drink them right away, or else those minerals start to die off and go away, the vitamins, I should say. And they become less and less absorbable and used by the body. The moment you juice the produce, it becomes less valuable. And so it's really important to realize that fiber is really one of the most important things that we get from fresh fruits and vegetables. And if we remove all that fiber and put it into a juice, it's just not as good for you. It's just not as high quality. It's not going to give you the same health benefits. That's why smoothies are a little bit better than juices, in my opinion. So anyway, looking back on it, I probably would not have done juice cleanses. They didn't help me in the way that I thought they would. They were cool, I guess, but they caused blood sugar spikes because, again, a lot of it has fruit sugar in it. And when you have a blood sugar spike, well, what comes up must come down. You have a blood sugar crash. Now you're fatigued in the middle of the day. You know the feeling. You just got back from lunch and you feel fatigued. And when you're not eating anything to begin with, you're low on calories, and then you have a blood sugar crash. It was just hellish. It wasn't really helping as much as I thought it was going to. low calories, fatigue, stress, honestly, because you're putting your body under stress when you're starving it and not giving it calories, and only giving it juice and fruits. It had a bunch of oxidative stress going on in my cells, and physical stress from being mentally tired, from being hungry all the time. So the stress impact, the blood sugar impact, the lack of fiber, and it just didn't make sense. So what I started to do once I got my bearings and realized that I had to actually have a real plan to get better, not just try the thing that sounds healthy, is I started to eat real food packed with fiber, whole plant-based foods, broccoli, kale, arugula, cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, onions and garlic, lots of beans and different kinds of wild rice, possibly. Never white rice because it's too close to sugar. It's just a quick carb that just spikes your blood sugar. But I would try to eat a very high quality balanced diet of protein and carbs and healthy fats, but the carbs, really important, need to come from a slow burning source, and that's really valuable. So the juice was not the way to go. The juice cleanse, I would say avoid it. Stick instead to, if you like smoothies and juices and things of that nature, a juice cleanse just didn't serve me the way that I thought it would. But I did enjoy the smoothies because there's fiber in smoothies. There's so much valuable nutrients that you can get from having a good smoothie. But the hard part with that is then you need to find a way to make it sweet. And when you're not having a lot of fruit juice, because if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that we need to avoid sugar, even fruit sugar, when we're trying to get better from Lyme disease. And having that fruit juice just messes everything up. So we want to avoid sugar at all costs, and that means the juice cleanse was not a good idea. That was my first big mistake. Juice cleanse, skip it. Stick to real whole plant-based foods packed with fiber, and that'll go a lot further for you than using a juice cleanse where you're just starving yourself and putting your body on unnecessary stress, lack of fiber, and there's really, the benefits are very minimal. But that's a big mistake that I made early on too. Is like the first week I found out I had Lyme disease, and there I was with a huge box of a juice cleanse that I got from the juice spot. And so I was drinking just juice every day, and yeah, it was a bad idea. It didn't help me as much as I thought it would. It hurt me more than it helped. So don't do that. Skip that mistake. Learn from me so you don't have to make the same mistakes as me, because it didn't work. Number 2, not enough protein. And you may have even guessed it from what we've been discussing, and I've been talking about carbs a lot, but the truth is my protein was very low at that time compared to what it is today. Now that I know what I know, and I went through all that I've learned in nutrition and sports performance and everything that I've learned and healing from Lyme disease, and then taking that and applying it also to the very healthy population of people that want to perform in sports, and then learning under amazing coaches of like Olympic level athletes and things of that nature. What I learned is that how important protein is, but not just for athletes, not just for the healthy population, not just for sports people. Protein is important for everybody, right? It's a key for immune strength, for tissue repair. And when I was going through Lyme disease, it was the same time where the vegan diet became very popular. I'm not saying that's wrong or right. I'm just saying it was popular at the time. I think a new documentary came out called What the Health, and everyone freaked out about that documentary. Everybody watched it. I watched it, and I wanted to try going on a vegan diet. It seemed like one of the healthiest things that I could do, and maybe it was. Maybe it was a great idea, but I didn't do a good job of getting enough protein into my vegan diet. I didn't know how to do that or where to get it from, because being vegan was so new to me at that time. So if I could go back and change it, I probably wouldn't be a vegan to begin with, because I'm not a vegan now. And it turns out that ended up eventually, I wasn't feeling that great. I found it really hard to get enough protein for my body. And everybody's body is different. That's another thing. Like, some people might do really, really well with a vegan diet and hit all their protein and know how to do it and make their special tofu and their different kinds of vegan meats and things. And I have family that are vegans, and they're very good at it, and they know how to get enough protein, and they learned it through the years how to do all that. But I wasn't that guy. I couldn't get enough protein in my diet, and I was eating a ton of very healthy vegetables, like way more than I ever did in my whole life. In 2016, when I found out I had Lyme disease and I was trying to get better, and I was studying nutrition and I was using herbs, I ate so many vegetables. It's kind of like comical when I look back at it. I used to eat these salads in this big bowl. It was like a giant bowl, and I would walk around eating a salad. But it was just all vegetables and not enough protein. So I started feeling weak after a while. My immune system wasn't being built the way that it could. I wasn't as strong or as healthy as I could have been. And you're taking a real risk if you're not getting enough protein, especially as we get older. If you are over the age of even 30 years old, you really have to think about protein, because it's just nature. Our muscle mass slowly declines with age, even over as young as 30 years old, even though that sounds really young. Once you're up into like 50, 60, 70, now your body consistently is not in protein synthesis, it's in protein breakdown mode. So we need to be constantly giving our body enough protein so that we can stay strong. Because a strong body that has muscle, you might be thinking like, oh, I don't need to be like muscly, I don't need to be like, able to pick up heavy things and stuff. But that's not really what it's about. It's about the simple things. It's about being able to hold the railing on the way down the stairs when you get older. It's about being able to carry groceries into your house. It's about being able to go for walks and enjoy the finer parts of life into old age. It's about having more life in your years, not just more years in your life. So protein is extremely valuable as we get older, and especially in healing from Lyme disease, because of some of the things that I already mentioned. Like, it strengthens your immune system, it helps with tissue repair. And again, I wasn't getting enough from like lentils, beans, and tofu at the time. I probably shouldn't have been a vegan, but again, I was willing to do anything in my power to get better. And I learned over time that wasn't the best diet for me. So looking back, that is mistake number 2, is taking on a vegan diet and trying to use a vegan diet when I wasn't doing it correctly. So now that I know how to do it correctly, I could successfully either help someone, I've done this a lot of times, help many people get better using a vegan diet because they're vegans and they need to get better. So I can tell them exactly what to eat. And if I had to, I could also do it myself. I could eat a vegan diet and get enough protein and heal my body from Lyme disease, co-infections, mold infections, parasites, the works, all the stuff that you are likely dealing with if you're watching this video. So, mistake number 1, just to recap, was juice cleanses. Don't do them. They don't work. They're not what they're hyped up to be. Mistake number 2 was I went vegan, and I shouldn't have. For me, for my personal body and the foods that work for me, I found that my protein intake being a lot higher helps me feel a lot better these days. And I just wasn't good. I didn't have the skill yet of building out meal plans high in protein for a vegan at the time. I wasn't a nutritionist yet. I didn't learn everything that I know now. I just was, trying my best to get healthy. I just wanted for this thing to just go away. And if you have that same feeling, if you're thinking like, I just want Lyme disease to go away, I just want to wake up tomorrow and not have to deal with any symptoms whatsoever, I know how that feels, and I've been there. And I remember feeling like I didn't want to spend the time to be stuck in this situation, but you got to just start stacking up the wins day by day. Even small things Like if you're finding it hard to get out of bed, if you just take the covers off, the first small step, and then celebrate that victory. Okay, I did it. I took the covers off, right? Celebrating those small, tiny wins and taking those small steps and not being afraid to give yourself grace for just taking small steps forward over a long period of time is the best, is the way that it ends up working, because it's that long-term mindset. That's sustainability and consistency mindset is what gets you to the finish line. When it comes to anything in your health, specifically, our body just responds better over long periods of time. Whether you're trying to lose weight or run an Ironman or, just heal your body and just feel okay from day to day, the body responds over long periods of time, months and years, not days and weeks. So that's just something really key to keep in mind while you go through this journey. I know it's hard sometimes, but hang in there. And I'm going to give you mistake number 3, which was I wasted a bunch of time on supplements and trying to figure out what works, what's quality, how to even find high quality supplements, what to look for when I do find them, how to know what I'm getting is high quality potency, the right dosage, the right amount, and the right price, all of that stuff. And turns out it's even worse than I thought it was. So now that knowing what I know about the nutrition field and the supplement field and the things that companies go through in order to bring a product to market, I can see clearly that it's a problem. Okay, they've done random controlled tests where they'll take a series of supplements and just test them for, do they have what they say they have in it? Do they have heavy metals in it? Do they have things that are not supposed to be in the supplements? And they do these random tests, and you know what happens? It's bad. They find some supplements have illegal drugs in them. They find some supplements have random fillers in them, or not even, they won't even have the active ingredient that they say they have. And some other ones that they just have, like they have heavy metal toxicity, and they're just basically poisonous. And a lot of times the label doesn't match the dosage that they're saying is in the product. And so all of these problems exist in the supplement market. It's not well tested, it's not well regulated. And so that was such a big deal for me. It was trying to find high quality choices, first of all, right? Just, is there something high quality that I can get at all? And I tried everything. I looked everywhere. There are obviously high quality options, but they usually charge an arm and a leg for them, and they try to make them worth even more than they actually are, which it gets pretty crazy. And I really didn't know what high quality was at the time. Now, looking back, now I've learned what high quality means in the supplement world and in the herbal recovery world. So I basically spent a bunch of time and energy and money spinning my wheels trying to figure this stuff out, because I was trying to figure out how I could take supplements that were going to make me feel better. And the supplements that existed just weren't exactly what I was looking for. I wanted the simplest possible ingredients, like one ingredient. Nothing, not like this is 10 ingredients and it's going to fix all your problems and all this marketing hype, right? I wanted the one ingredient thing that's going to fix it. But it had to be high quality. It couldn't be one ingredient, but then also just like some generic knockoff looking brand in the back of Walmart that barely sells and probably is, risky to put into my body to begin with because of all of the problems I was just mentioning. So basically I had to simplify. I had to make it much simpler. And I ended up just buying things in bulk. So I would take those one ingredients that I would want, and I would buy huge bags of them, and they would show up to my house. And then I would end up trying to turn them into tea or tinctures, which is a whole long process, and I didn't realize what I was getting myself into there. Or I could capsule them up myself and take them as capsules, which was the easiest, quickest method and route for me to do. But I ended up trying all the ways tinctures are nearly impossible. You have to kind of like work with an herbalist. You have to understand all of the tools that you need to do that. You usually need like a lab space or a space to do that. So that was really difficult. That was one that I just basically ended up buying a tincture from a friend who was also an herbalist. And that was helpful. But all of this work to find supplements that work and to find herbs that work. And then I finally found the herbs that work. I had them in bulk and I was using them, and I still didn't know all of the other supplements that I could take that would help me push me over the edge of where I was in my health. And to be completely clear, I told you about my scary Lyme disease story. My heart rate dropped, I was fainting, blah, blah, blah. It was really difficult for me, but you don't care about that. You care about you, right? And I care about you. So I just want to say that I am now in the best health I have ever been in my entire life, and I keep getting healthier. And it's all because of that very difficult time that I had with Lyme disease, and everything I learned from that point forward has been applied to my health every single year. And so I just want you to know that it's possible to get better. You can take back your body and feel like yourself again. I had days where I felt like a complete shell of myself. I felt like I can barely get out of bed today. How am I supposed to provide for my family? How am I supposed to show up and have energy for my kids? How am I supposed to be the best version of myself if I can't even, get off this? I have this very vivid memory of going to the beach, and then we were at the beach, and I love the beach. It's one of the best days for me, especially with my kids. They're young, they're having so much fun at the beach. They don't even need to do much. They just go like barely into the water, like up to their knees, and they scream and run away from the water, and it's so easy and fun, such a good day. But I remember being at the beach and then basically just being woken up and the day was over, because I had passed out on the beach for hours and hours and hours. And now if I look at pictures from that very same beach trip, I can see the EM rash on my body in like 3 or 4 different places on my body from that day, because I was deep in the throes of Lyme disease that day. And it's a day that I remember in terms of how shocked I was that the day just disappeared from me, but I forget the whole day. Like, I just remembered how crazy it is that that day even happened without me feeling like I was even there. I felt like a shell of myself, and I know how that feels. So that's why I do this work and why I show up and try to help other people, because now I have my health back. I was able to go through the processes that I help other people go through so that they can get their health back. And now I'm just going to keep doing that forever. You can't stop me, so might as well join me. No, but look, healing isn't about doing more. And today I proved that. I gave you 3 things that I would not do that I did, right? Mistakes that I made. It's not about doing more. It's not about adding more to your plate. Instead, it's about doing the right things and doing them consistently over time. So those 3 things, I'll go through them real quick again. Number 1, don't do juice cleanses. They're overhyped and they don't actually do much for healing the body, especially from Lyme disease co-infections and these types of infections that we talk about here. Mistake number 2 was I wasn't eating enough protein. That's mostly my fault because I wasn't skilled enough to know how to eat a vegan diet and get enough protein. Now I know how to do that if I had to, but I'm not a vegan, full disclosure. But I've helped many vegans get better from Lyme disease and work on their diet and build a meal plan and get all the protein they need. And I have family members that are vegan that I've helped, day to day, one-on-one, help them all the time. I know how it is. And number 3 is wasted time, money, energy on supplements, not knowing what to take, not knowing what herbs to take, and not having a direct path to take those herbs and those supplements, right? Now, we are doing our best to get everything together for people that have Lyme disease and co-infections, so they can just get the right stuff the first time, which is why you probably know we've created LymeWars.com, where you can get the herbs just in the perfect form. the right dosage, the right amount, the right herb, the right quality. We get a third-party lab to test every single herb to make sure they're insanely safe. That way I don't have to feel guilty. I can give them to myself, my kids, my family, my mom and dad even take these. And so, they're very safe because I need them to be, so we can take them. And all that being said, healing is possible. If you didn't know about what I was just talking about, is these herbs right here. I actually have them, so I could show you real quick. We got andrographis, cat's claw, and Japanese knotweed. And these are available at limewars.com. They're an extremely affordable price compared to all the other things out there. And they're the highest quality, highest potency. Like I said, we third-party test everything. They're non-GMO, they're certified vegan, all that good stuff. So go check them out if you're interested. We'd love to have you join because we're constantly trying to find ways to bring more value to the community and give more to the people that do work with us. And if you're already working with us, thank you so much. And I hope we're doing everything to provide everything that you need. And if we're ever not, please reach out. Let us know what we can do to serve you better, because we really are just here to help people. And that's all we do every day. We wake up and try to help as many people as we can and just do it again the next day. So I'm just reading this. I actually have like a little note card here so I can stay on topic here. So yeah, those 3 mistakes, they set me back. Once I corrected them, I was able to get better from Lyme disease. And obviously I've done a lot of other things that I can talk about for days and days and days in order to get better. But cutting out those 3 things, really, I did those 3 things not knowing that they were just a waste of time. That if I did them right the first time, I wouldn't have had to waste that time. Especially with the supplements one, it's not like I didn't need to take supplements. I just needed the quicker route. I needed somebody to say, take this, 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 and this, and you can get all of it right here. And that's what I'm building with limewars.com. So I have a big announcement right now. I know I told my people on my email list that this big announcement was coming. Right after this announcement, we will get into Q&A. So if you have a question, post it in the chat. I'll do my best to get to your question right after this big announcement. So just right before this announcement, one more thing. I have a free guide that you can have if you're not ready to jump into using our herbs and stuff. You can read about our philosophy and 6 steps that we use to fight back against Lyme disease and what happened with my Lyme disease journey and my story and so much more. It's called the Lyme Survival Guide, and you can get it honestly, the website, I'm gonna put it in the comments section after this because I just realized it's not anywhere for you to click on anyway. So let's go on to the announcement. The announcement is this. Anybody who has been with Lyme Wars for 3 months is going to get a special gift in their box this next upcoming month. And this special gift is really valuable and important to me. I use it regularly. I took a long time. I'm talking, many tests, a lot of different tests we did, a lot of different days and nights spent talking about how to make this work, testing different things to see if it worked. And finally, we came up with a natural bug oil that you can put on your skin that isn't like thick and creamy moisturizer type like sunscreen stuff. It's not like that at all. It's nice and thin and smooth, but it repels ticks, mosquitoes, spiders, bugs. It's got all natural active essential oil ingredients. It goes on nicely and it stays on your skin for the long term. We know because we tested it for so many months. And we go for walks and we would put it on and go for walks, and then we would not put it on and go for walks and see if we got bitten by mosquitoes. And that is a great way to test a product and know for sure that it's working. And we finally got the formula completely perfectly dialed in. And this is a sample bottle right here. It is a little roll-on guy, little roll-on bottle here, all packaged up, ready to go. And so basically you take the lid off like this, and it's a little roller bottle, and you can roll this on the back of your neck, on your wrists, on your ankles, wherever you normally get bugs landing on you, and that will keep you safe when you're in nature. Because listen, bad things have happened to us, right? We didn't ask for Lyme disease, but we did end up with a tick bite. Now, we can use that to be afraid of the great outdoors and never go outside again, but it's my belief that that adventure spirit, that spirit of adventure is still serving you. It's still important and valuable, and it's still good to get out there in nature, but it's also important and valuable to protect yourself the entire time you're out there. And so that's why we created this bug oil. And now I use it regularly whenever I'm outside. I know these summer months, the water builds up somewhere, and then that becomes a mosquito ground where mosquitoes are everywhere. Ticks are obviously everywhere, and a huge concern, especially if you live, well, really, if you live anywhere in the United States, they're there now. But I grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania where there was just ticks and deer everywhere. There's deer ticks, and they spread very easily, and there's so much Lyme disease up there. In fact, I think 75% of Lyme Wars clients are from Pennsylvania. So that's just really interesting, but it's spread across all of the United States, and actually way further than that. I've worked with people in Ireland, Germany, Australia. I could go on and on. It's worldwide, this problem. And so, you know, it's my belief that I'm not only here to give people the tools that they need to get better, but also to give people the tools that they need to protect themselves so they never have to deal with this problem in the first place. And so I'm really excited to put this in everybody's box. If they've been with Lyme Wars for 3 months or more in our subscription, they will be getting this for free in their box. And then keep your eyes peeled for this, because even if you're not on the subscription, pretty soon we will hopefully, you know, ideally we'll be rolling this out so that everybody can get it whenever they want. But for right now, this is going to be a free gift, so we're kind of allowing more people to test it. So we figured, why not use it to help people get healthier? We know that the people that stay on the Lyme Wars herbs for longer, for 3 months, 4 months, a year, those are the people that get the best possible results. So if I can bribe you to stay a little bit longer so that you can get healthier, then I'm willing to do it. And I want to give you this free gift in your 3rd month of the Lyme Wars Herb Box, because I know that the tools that we provide work as long as you give them time to do the work that they do. So really cool announcement. Really just wanted to share that with you. I've been working on that behind the scenes for months and months and figuring out how we're going to roll this out, who we're going to give it to, what we're going to do next. And so it feels good to finally share that with the world, something that I've been working on all along, and now you have it. So I'm just going to take a sip of this here. This is some ginger chamomile tea tonight. Nice chamomile to help me wind down. Ginger has a ton of health benefits. It's really cool. It actually helps with pain itself. They found they did a study where it showed promising help with pain, especially with menstrual cramp pain, which I thought was interesting. I obviously can't test that theory or that experiment, but I thought it was interesting. But I have used it when I have headaches, and that does work. So the pain, ginger can actually help with pain, if you didn't know that. Really cool stuff. Now, let me try and find, it's time for the Q&A. If anybody has any questions, feel free to post the questions. If you asked something earlier, I'm going to scroll back up and see if I can catch it. And if you're just joining now, feel free to ask anything you want. I'll be happy to help if it has to do with, you know, your health or feeling better, getting better from Lyme disease, co-infections, mold, CFS, any of those types of long-term chronic illnesses or infections. Let me just see where. I'm just trying to find the chat here. I think it's up. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here for you. Sorry, I'm still here for you. I'm still here. I go, I'm here for you, and then my video cuts off. I'm like, I'm here for you, don't worry. Okay. I'm not seeing any questions so far. If there are no questions, feel free to reach out or comment below after this video is over. I can still come back and answer comments. That's fine. Also, email help@LymeDiseaseWars.com to get in touch with us. We'll have someone answer that within 24 hours and usually sooner. But we'll get back to you about any questions you have. We're here to serve. We're here to help you. And go to LymeWars.com if you want to get started on the herbs that just work. And why do they work? Well, because we spent so long dialing them in, making sure that they are the exact research-backed, studied, tested herbs that get the most Lyme patients the best results. And now we made it available to you. And again, if you stick with us for 3 months of using the Lyme Wars Herb Box, we'll give you a free gift. We'll give you your Lyme Wars Bug Oil. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Let me know what you think about the name. Lyme Wars Bug Oil. I like it. It keeps away the ticks, the mosquitoes. It's all natural, essential oil based, goes on nice and easy and stays on for the long term. Those were our key points we wanted to test, and that's why it took so long to come up with a perfect formula, but we've done it. It smells great, and like I said, it works great. When we wear it, we don't get bit by bugs. When we don't wear it, we do get bit by bugs here in North Carolina, where the bugs are out and they are vicious. All right, I hope this video finds everybody well. I hope you have an excellent rest of your week and weekend. And if you need anything, reach out to me. I'm here to serve, I'm here to help. And I can't wait to see what happens when you have your and you feel like yourself again. And you stop feeling like a shell of yourself and you're able to show up in your life and for the people that you love in the way that you want to, the way that you know you can, as the best version of yourself. And I'll see you at the top. Bye-bye.